All right, spark number 4 is going to be a slideshow. It'll be a little bit different. I want to show you some things. I'm on the landing page. I'm going to sign in, log in with school account, continue with Google. That's all the normal stuff. Here is the home page where we usually land. Here's the next thing I would do. Right here, third item there, a slideshow is kind of already set up right here. So I'm going to go right there, the third item over, third icon over, slideshow, boom, click that. You're going to see a screen here that says every great story starts somewhere. I'm just going to skip this. I guess you could put something here if you wanted to, if you already know what you're doing, but I'm just going to skip it. And I'm going to start from scratch. You could use a template here, but I'm just going to do a start from scratch. And it'll take a few seconds for it to kind of load up. It's going to get ready to go with the things it needs. Now, if you do the start from scratch, you'll say, here's some quick tips, and you can watch this if you want to. It's 1 minute and 7 seconds long, or you can just close it. It's up to you. All right. Here's where you land. And I'm going to show you a couple of things here, and then I'll go out and show you a more finished version of what we're working on here in a minute. Now, I do have, of course, I have a handout that is posted over on Google Classroom, and we're creating a slideshow. And here, I've lost my tools that I wanted here, but that's all right. I'm good. Here are the requirements. Boom, 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 boom. So at least 4 slides, and here's my idea. Let's keep this easy. Just tell me some facts about something. They could even just be facts about you, but you take a topic and you tell me some facts about it. So you have to have at least 4 slides, an intro slide, and then 3 facts. So that would be a total of 4. Put an image on every slide, have some text on every slide, and go for a good look. This just shows you how to get started. I've got some instructions here about building the show that start right here. Steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are on the first page of the handout, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 are on the second page of the handout. And then previewing right here, and then finishing up right here. Okay. So all the stuff that I'm going to be showing you here is kind of documented for you. So I'm back to Adobe Spark, and I'm sitting, and automatically puts you on slide number 1. If you look down here in the bottom, there's kind of a timeline-y kind of thing down here, and I'm on slide 1 right now. First thing you can do, if you look up in the top right, there's layout, theme, resize, and music. We'll get to music here in a minute. I'm going to turn music off. So for the layout, each slide can have a different layout. Kind of depends on what you want. All right, so full screen, split screen, caption, title. This is going to be an intro slide, and I'm on a Mars kick. Sorry, but I'm just on a Mars kick. So I'm going to use this layout for the first one. And then when you pick a layout, you've got these plus signs that show up here, right? Now, up here in the corner, for this particular layout, this would be more like for the background. If you have video clips, you could try it, but I don't really have any video clips, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to add a photo. And I've already saved some photos that I want to use. They're in my downloads folder. No, they're not. Sorry. I got to dig into my folder where I saved these. I'll be quick. I promise. I saved them in a folder. Okay, there we go. I want this one for the title slide. All right, so that's the image I want for, and you can't do a whole lot of editing here. If you click this little edit button in the top right, you can zoom in on it a little bit if you want to, or zoom out on it some if you want to. I might zoom in just a little. Okay, cool. There we go. So I've got my, I've got my picture, my background on there. These plus signs are for your title. If I go back to my layout, I'm using this title and text. So I'm going to say, let's go to Mars. And down here, I might make it say, a presentation by Mr. Arvin. All right, cool. All right, so I've got my text on there, right? Yay. Now this is where the theme thing might come in. I've got a title slide kind of put together, but if I go over here and I look at theme, and I'm not really going to, these branded themes, I'm not going to mess with that, but I'm going to come down here to where it says more themes, and if you float your mouse over them, the themes kind of control a little bit about text styling and some animations and things that are going to be automatically included in your slideshow. And if you float over your mouse over these, then it kind of gives you a look at, okay, here's little, animations and style things that are going to be a part of your presentation. You don't get a lot of choice about it, except you can pick a theme. So if you float over it and you see something, that kind of looks cool, then use it, right? You just float over these themes and decide what you like. I'm going to use this one called Statement. Boom. And you can, there's some choice of color. And the colors aren't really showing up a whole lot on this particular slide, but you'll see more in a minute. You'll see what I mean here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, so I'm going to go with Statement, and I'm going to use that color right there, and wha-bam. Okay, so really, I'm fairly happy with my title page. I've got an image on it, I've got some text on it, and yay. So now when you're ready to add another slide, what you do is you hit this plus button down in the corner. And see, slide 2 has popped on here. And on this one for the layout, I'm going to use split screen, but you can do whatever you want. And so for split screen, it kind of gives you the opportunity to add things on two sides of the screen. So like over here, I'm going to add a photo, and this is, and I've already got my photo saved, right? So I'm going to go, let's see, I'll just use this Mars background right here, open that up. And over on this side, that's just kind of an image or I don't know if they got that from a rover or if that, no, that looks like water. So it's probably somebody's idea of what Mars, I don't know. Anyway, over here on this plus sign, I'm going to add some text. And it just gives you a text box and you just start typing is what you do. You can't really control what, as far as I know, you can't really control what color the text is and what font it uses. That's part of the theme. That was chosen by the theme. All right, so I'm going to click in there and say, if you go to Mars, and the more you type, the smaller it'll get. It'll fit in there. If you go to Mars, you will be able to jump really high because the gravity on Mars is about 40% of the gravity on Earth. All right, so I have a fact, right? I just told you a fact here. I said I'm on a Mars kick. I don't know why I'm on a Mars kick, but I'm on a Mars kick. What can I do? All right, so see, that slide is really pretty okay. It's pretty done. It's got a picture on it. It's got some text on it. I'm pretty happy with it. So if I want to go on to my next little fact slide, I would come over here and hit the plus button again and see here where it squeezes in slide number 3. And then I go back through that whole thing again. Now, if you change a theme, it's going to change the theme for the whole show. So you have to just pick a theme for the whole show, but you can change the layout, right? And so right now I think this is on full screen and I could add photo or text or whatever. But again, I kind of like this split screen thing. And if I were going to build another one, I could add a photo here. And I'll just say, let's see, let's use this settlement here. Does that work? Yeah, that works. And then over here I could add some text. And I'm not going to type this whole thing. To live on Mars, you would need to, and it would, this would have to do with having an air supply, because Mars is mostly, the atmosphere of Mars is mostly carbon dioxide, and we wouldn't be able to breathe. And so anyway, I would go ahead and type all that on there and get all that. I don't want to build the whole thing right in front of you. It's going to take forever. All right, so that would be, another side. Now, if you're using the split screen thing, look at one thing you can do. There's a swap items thing in here. And so it switched sides, right? It flipped it and put the text over on the left side and the picture over on the right side. And the text winds up being on the colored background. And so it's a little variety. Cool. Yeah. All right. Now what I would have to do to finish this is I would have to go on and I would have to add another slide. Okay, another slide here, because you have to have a like an intro, and then you got a fact here, and then you got a fact here, and then I need one more because that's what's required. I want you to have an intro slide and then at least 1, 2, 3 more. Now, if you're wondering what are these credit and outro things, just hang on. I'll get there in a second. All right. So you got at least 4 slides that just have a fact about something, whatever you pick. Baseball, yourself, pie. I got pie on the mind too. Anywho, now what I'm going to do here is go to my one that is, I'm going to go to my projects and go to my one that is already done, because there's a couple other things that I want to show you. So I got to load it, and I'll close this. All right, so this is my one that's actually finished. I put everything's on here. Here's slide number 1, here's slide number 2, and here's number 3, and here's number 4. Right? So I got all my slides on there. Now, here's a couple of other little details. If you want to preview your show, if you're thinking, okay, what is this? What would this look like if somebody watches it? Up here on the top in the middle, there's a preview button. All right, so I'm going to close my preview. If you watch a preview, which I just did, there'll be an X up here in the top right, so I'm going to click that. A couple of things about setting it up, though. On each slide, on the bottom right-hand corner of the slide, you see a little clock, and like mine says 7 seconds. It doesn't say 7 seconds to begin with. If your slide's not on for long enough, you can click that button and just use this slider right here to adjust it and make it as long as you want it to be. So you might have to preview it and then adjust the timing of each slide. So like on this one, on my first slide, I set it for 7. Second slide, I set it for 10. Third slide, I set it for 10. Fourth slide, I set it for 10. So you can adjust that however you want. What was that music? What was that? Well, way up here on the right-hand side, where it says layout, theme, resize, music, you can pick. They have music clips here that are just loops. And you don't have to have music, all right? So if you don't want music, you could just go up here. There's this little music on, music off thing. And you don't have to have music if you don't want to. But you can if you want. There's a bunch of things you could choose from. There is the possibility of if you have a recording of something that would fit, you can say add my music, and see what it's doing. It's saying, okay, where's your music? So you would have to have a recorded file of something to put there. Or you could just pick something from the list that they have. Or you don't have to have music. Just turn music off. I don't care if you don't have music. So you can change the timing of it. You can put music on if you want to. That's up to you. Now this credits thing, what about this? All right, so it automatically sticks a credits slide on it. And so if you want to use it, go ahead. Just, you go to credits and you make it say what you want it to say. And there you go. You've got it. Now, if you don't want to use it, here's what you do. You click the little 3-dot menu in the corner and say hide credits. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. Same thing with this outro thing here. There's an outro that is automatically like assigned on here. And if you don't want to use it, just click the little 3-dot menu and say hide outro. I don't want that. This is for like companies that are trying to get you to buy something or whatever, visit our website. So I'm just going to hide it. I don't want that. All right, so that's off. But I did use the credits. You don't have to use the credits, but I did on mine. I just clicked on that credit slide and made it say what I wanted it to say. Hey, by the way, there's also a possibility here that on a slide, on any slide, if you want to record your own voice, that's what that little microphone button is for. So I didn't do that on mine, but if you want to try it, you could. So here it is, right? You see it? This is what we're doing. It's got to be at least 1, 2, 3, 4 slides. Do whatever you want with that credit thing. Use it or not. If you don't want to use it, hide it. But if you want to use it, use it. Do whatever you want with the outro thing. If you don't want to use it, then hide it. If you want to use it, I guess you could. To add a new slide, use this plus button. You can change the layout of any slide. Can't change the layout of the credit slide, but you can change the layout of a slide. Remember, the theme applies to the whole show. So if you pick a theme, that's going to be the way it works for the whole show. Now, what do you do when you're done? All right, when you're all done, if everything's working great, there's a download button up here. All right, so you're just going to go download, and it's going to start downloading immediately. It doesn't ask you to name it or anything like that. All right, it's just going to start downloading. So it's preparing for download, and you see a little message that says, closing this window will cancel the download. So you probably don't want to close that menu if you're downloading, right? However, you probably won't want to, but I think I'm going to, okay, because I've already downloaded mine, so I don't need to worry about it. Now, here's another thing you can do. Right here at the top, there's a share button, and it says send to Google Drive. Ew. Now, that's a real similar thing. You'd have to choose your account here and say, yeah, I'll allow you to do that. And it's going to do the same kind of thing. It's going to kind of, this would be another way you could get it to your Google Drive if you wanted to. You could send a copy of it to your Google Drive and then turn it in from there. Or you can just, like I said, you can just download it. And what that's going to do, let me show you what, I'll close this. If you download it, it is going to, it'll create a file that kind of probably is going to be named. I'm guessing the name will be this, Adobe Spark Video .mp4. That's my, if I double click that, it'll play. Look at that. All right, I'm not really going to play that, but I'm just showing you that's what it downloads right there. Adobe Spark Video. All right, see that? And that's what you would turn in. That MP4 file right there is what you would turn in when you're all done with yours. Okay, I just went to the wrong thing. Meant to be here. Okay, all right, so I'm going to bail on this, and that is our assignment of the day, a little like 4-slide show. You got an intro, a title, and remember, just make it like facts about something. You keep it simple, right? Give me some facts about cats, or I don't know what you want to do, but come up with something. Boom. There's fact number 1, fact number 2, fact number 3. I use my credit slide. Bingo. Download it when you're all done. Preview it if you need to preview it. Make the changes that you need to make. All right, off you go.